Good afternoon to you. Welcome to the call. My name is Dave Kaufman. I am excited to be here. I'm excited to tell you a little bit about my story today. I'm going to share with you a little bit how I got started and how I became a coach and why I believe having a coach is important. I'm a living example of it. And as more and more people come on board, we got the phone lines busy. We got Facebook, YouTube, and some other channels going here. So welcome, welcome, welcome. And I am going to be leaving tomorrow. I'm going out to Colorado for a client visit, and so I'll be gone the rest of the week. And so glad to get this call in today. Yeah. So, just a little bit about my story. I started my first company in 2008, and it was a cleaning company, a high end residential cleaning company. And I quickly was able to grow it to a size where it was a little bit crazy for me to handle, not knowing what I was doing in the business world in 2008. I was always very entrepreneurial. I always, wanted to figure out how to make money. So as a kid, always did the lemonade stands and with my sister. And, then I was like the one that said, hey, let's add, cupcakes or cakes or whatever, like let's add to it. So I was always trying to, do more and be entrepreneurial. I remember one time I was able to buy two pigs. I called them Salt and Pepper, and that's when I learned that farming is probably not for me. They got sick, and I didn't make a lot of money on those two pigs. But as a kid, I was always looking at making money, and so I knew one day I was going to start a company. In 2008, I started my first company and was able to grow it to 35 employees, and we were doing a nice business. And I had a really good friend, a carpet cleaning friend, a different company, but we partnered in the same building. And his name was also Dave. We called ourselves Dave and Dave Show wherever we went, and we just had a good time there. But as time went on, my friend Dave started noticing that I was stressed out and not really able to handle the size of the company that I had. And the best way to describe it was, being as I'm from a farm, was my silage was taller than my silo. Okay, so I had more stuff going on than I had the infrastructure to actually handle. And so he started noticing this, and he was a very organized guy, and he had a business coach. And he says, Dave, you need to go with me to Texas. And I said, what's in Texas? He said, there's a conference that you need to go. I need to introduce you to a guy. And he said, it's a carpet cleaning conference. And I said, well, I'm not in the carpet cleaning world. But he says, yeah, but you're in the cleaning world, and I think you need to hear this guy. And so I go, and I'm in the conference. I'm in Texas. It's a 2 or 3 day conference. And I started hearing this guy started speaking about systems and the importance of systems. And I remember he would say FTI is the reason small businesses fail or don't do as good as they could. And I was asking myself, what is FTI? I got to know what FTI is, because I want to do really good in business. And then he goes on to explain failure to implement, FTI, failure to implement. And I was like, well, what do I need to implement? And then he started talking about systems and procedures and making sure that you have things in place that doesn't enslave you to your business. And then he asked the question. He says, how many of you, when you started your business, thought that you'd have a lot of free time, thought that you could share, life with your family and friends, and just, business was great, man. You left a job to start a business so that you can have freedom. And then he asked this question, and yeah, how's that working out for you? And it was like, I told him later, I said, it was like you were speaking to me. And so I was going through this whole conference thinking, man, I got to put systems into place, and I don't even know what systems are. I don't know what systems I should even put in place. And at the end of the conference, he offered a coaching program, and it was back then it was like $6,000, and I really couldn't afford it. And but I was going to say I begged, borrowed, and stole money, but that's not the case. I scraped it together and got enough money to buy the program, and I became his first non-carpet cleaning company that he's coaching. And I had to convince him to let me hire him to coach me because he was solely in the carpet cleaning industry. And I remember him saying, yeah, I don't know if it's going to work because I built these systems for the carpet cleaning industry. And I said, I believe that it will work. And I became his first non-carpet cleaning client in the coaching world for him. And it worked really well. And I started implementing. I took him at his word. And when he said that FTI, failure to implement, is the biggest reason small businesses fail or don't do as good as they could, I took him at his word and I just started implementing everything he said. I honestly believe if he would have said, fire all of your people and hire new people, I believe I would have done it. That's how much I believed in this coach. And of course, he wouldn't have said that. But my point is, I trusted him, and I was at a place in my business to where I knew I had to have something that I didn't have. And so I hired him, and he started coaching me, and things started turning around for me, and we grew and we continued growing. And I started implementing and having phenomenal results, and my profits started going up, all of this. And so he started thinking about it. Well, maybe I can open up my coaching to other industries, besides cleaning. And so I think today he's in over 200 different industries. He's basically worldwide. He has clients all over the world. And as I started implementing these things, I went through a time where I was like, this is not freedom. I'm working harder in my business than I've ever worked before. But I realized something. I was working on my business instead of in it. I wasn't doing what my business does. I wasn't like doing the work of cleaning or scheduling or calling or stuff like that. I was busy working on my business instead of in it. And as time went on, I started getting freedom in my business and started putting people in place to work in the business so that I can continue working on the business. And I eventually got myself to the point to where I started some other companies, and I had the freedom, and I started looking at starting companies off in the right way. And then I get a call from that coach and says, Dave, I've never had a student like you. And I said, what do you mean? He says, I've never had somebody that just implemented and did the work that I asked him. And he says, I want you to come work for me. And so I started coaching under him. And for about a year, we worked together fairly closely. And it was a time of me kind of between two worlds. I was like, I wasn't sure I wanted to get into coaching and wanted to, start my own business as far as service companies and things like that. And it was for me, it was a very confusing time in my life. It was almost like I was being pulled away from being a business owner to a whole new world of coaching and speaking. And when I look back on that time in my life, I realized that, wow, that was a huge transition time in my life of being pulled away from a traditional business owner and having the desire to be a business owner and to be an entrepreneur, have that entrepreneurial bone working in me. And then also I'm drawn to coaching and helping other people. So eventually, I started my own company, and it kind of just morphed into I was going to be more of a stage where people like my coach could be speaking on, and I started a company called Empowering Small Business, and I wanted to be a place where small business owners can come and receive what I received, coaching and mentoring and people speaking into my business. And I remember like thinking before all of this, I said, man, I just wish I had somebody I can talk to about my business. Yeah, I mean, I was married. I got married the same year I started my company, but and my wife really supported me and helped me. But it's not the same talking to your spouse a lot of times as it is talking to a business mentor or a coach. Sometimes they're in the middle of the stress with you, and so I felt the need to like really talk to somebody that is not emotionally intact with my company, somebody that can speak objectively. And so, as I was working with a coach and this mentor, I was introduced to a lot of other people and other minds as well, like Michael E. Gerber, the E Myth. I wrote the book called The E Myth Revisited, and I started just like consuming all of this material that's out there, like really truly consuming it and implementing it and learning and being around people that are learning, and opportunities just started coming and it just started happening. And finally, started my company coaching and speaking and all of that. And so you never know what kind of relationships can turn into. And so, in fact, I'm looking at my wall of gratitude. In fact, I'm going to turn the camera for those of you who are on Facebook and Zoom. That's my wall of gratitude. Those are the people that have spoken into my life and really coached me and mentored me. This guy right here, Howard Partridge, if he's watching, this is my very first coach. He's the guy that helped me put systems in and really helped me to understand the need to how to run a business. And so recently he was here, and I was able to show him the wall of gratitude, and we had a nice time reconnecting. And so there's a lot of people on that wall that have impacted me, and I paid a lot of them a lot of money to impact me and to help grow me. I look at Ron Klein. He's the inventor of the magnetic strip on the credit card. A lot of my clients have used him as a business coach. He came to work for me. First, he was kind of a mentor, and then he came to work for me as one of our coaches. Noah Weiler, Delatoro McNeil, Tom Ziegler, Barbara D, Dr. Robert Rome, Lisa Marie Heights, Myron Golden. All of those people have really just poured into me and helped mentor me, coach me, and I paid them money. Like I've paid all of them except three. I've paid some money for them, a lot of money to mentor me and coach me. And so you show me a company that is super successful, and I will show you a leader in that company that has had and sought out advice and mentorship, and some of the most successful people that I know are being mentored and ask advice and bring other people into their companies to train their employees and to really really help them. Okay, thanks for the music. Somebody didn't mute themselves here. But I'm sorry, I got a tickle in my throat as well. So I want to just kind of give you some pointers on why it's important. That was my story, and I can tell you that a lot of my clients have gone on to not only be mentored, but now they're starting to mentor and they're starting to reach out to their employees, to their, and they're actually, some of them actually started their own coaching business underneath me because they've received so much help in their business that they want to give back. And it's kind of what happened with me. I received so much by hiring and attracting these people into my life, and I want to be able to give back and give back. So I want to kind of give you some ideas and just talk about the idea of mentoring and coaching and why I think it's so important. One of the reasons that I think that having somebody, and please, there are people out there that will mentor you for free. Okay. I'm not really a mentor. I'm more of a business coach. But a person that is able to do this will help guide you. It'll be your compass through your business life and your journey. How many of you have in the past, you don't have to answer because you can't really, but I want you to think about this. How many of you in the past month have encountered a challenge in your business or in your place of work or in your life that you wish you could just have a speed dial and call somebody and say, hey, this is what I'm dealing with. What would you do? That happens to me. That happens to all of the people on that wall. That happens to every person. We are surrounded by challenges. We are surrounded by obstacles. I mean, that's part of life. And we're not meant to go at it alone. We're not meant to battle those challenges alone. We're meant to pull together, and we're meant to help each other. And so a person that helps people, that reaches out to people, and you can be that person. You don't have to be a business coach in order to be a person that reaches out and helps people and is a resource to people. And so I want you to, I'm trying to encourage you to be this person, to be the person that somebody calls and says, hey, this is what I'm facing. What would you do? I'm having an issue in my marketing. What have you done? Who did you hire as a sales trainer? What would you do in this situation? Be that person that other people can call. So it serves as a guide or a compass to help navigate through life's and business's challenges. It also, one of the things that my coach really helped me to understand is blind spots. If I ask you if you have blind spots or not, I hope you would say, I'm sure I do. Okay. Because blind spots are areas that you can't see. You ever wonder like how you look going down the road? Like, what do other people see when they see you? That's a blind spot. You cannot see yourself driving down the road or doing something. That's why we call it a blind spot. And other people can see areas of your life that you can't. Other people can see into your business in areas and ways that you can't because you're in the middle of it. You're emotionally attached to your baby. You're emotionally attached to the business that you're trying to build and the stresses of it. And sometimes you need to just step away or have somebody else that is objective and to look at your business. I'm not a seamstress or a seamster. I don't sew my own clothes, but if I did, I certainly wouldn't sew my clothes while they're on me. I wouldn't, if I was making a dress and if I was a lady, I would not be making a dress while it's on me. I would put it on a mannequin or somewhere away where I can look at it and see. And so one of the things that Michael Gerber told me, or I read it in one of his books, was a business owner, the best thing that he could do is to have an office about a quarter mile away from the business with a window view looking at his business. That way, as he's sitting in his office, he can look out the window and say, I'm building that. Instead of having the office in the building, in the business, you're in it. You got to get yourself in a position where you can work on the business and not in it. And that's one of the blind spots that many blind spots that business owners have. So a coach or a mentor can really help you to identify those blind spots, to see things that you can't see. And it's, we all have those. One of the other things that I really had to understand is that other people can, like an outside voice into my company or into my life even. It's like an unbiased third party. They just give you the raw truth. They're not emotionally attached. Sometimes in my coaching, I'm in a position where I can say, listen, you got to do this. Don't worry about how it makes you feel. Just go do it, whatever that is. I was having a conversation with a client this morning that, I got a little tough with them and said, hey, you know what? If you want the results, you got to do the work. You're not going to get the results just by hiring me. You got to do the work. And so that's an unbiased kind of a third party look into your company that says, hey, do it, get after it. So I'm a firm believer, and I'm moving on to the next point here. I'm a firm believer that we all come to the table with a certain mindset. Like you have a mindset about things, I have a mindset about things. And our mindset is basically our habits. It's our way of thinking. It's the way we approach a subject or and it's the daily thing that we do. We do things that are in our mindset. And so one of the things that my coach taught me, he says, if you want to have something different, you got to do something different. And before you can do something different, you have to think something different. And so the mindset is huge, huge. So, if you tell yourself, it's so hard, I won't be able to do it. I can't do the hard thing. That's your mindset. You're reinforcing a negative mindset, and your mind says, yeah, I can't do it. But if you say, today I'm going to do it, your brain says, huh? Okay, we're going to do it. Okay, let's work. Your brain is designed to work for you. I want you to understand that. Your mindset is so, so important. And if you have a negative mindset, that's what it will be. If you have a more of a positive can-do attitude, like Zig Ziglar said, a positive mindset is not going to allow you to do everything, but it will allow you to do everything a little bit better. And so your mindset, one of the reasons that Lisa Marie Heinz is on the wall of gratitude over there is she overheard, this is a lady here in Sarasota that I was in a network group with, and she's not necessarily a speaker or a mentor or a coach. She's a mom. She owned a little business, and we were in the same group together, referring referrals back together. So basically, just not a speaker or a mentor in that way, but she still mentored me. She overheard me say one time that I'm not good at math. And that was my mindset based on all my prior experiences in school and my inability to think fast when it comes to numbers. I think very fast in concepts and all of that, but numbers, my brain goes, boop, boop. That was my mindset. And so one day she overheard me say, I'm not good at math. And she came up to me and pointed her finger at me, said, don't you ever say that again. And I said, well, I'm not. And she says, I know you don't want to lie, and I don't want you to lie. So tell yourself a different story. And I said, what shall I tell myself? She said, say you're getting better at math. And so I started saying that. And so before, whenever I would, why would I ever tell somebody that I'm not good at math? It was because there was a math problem in front of me, and that was my excuse to get away from that. So I said, "Oh, I'm not good at math." And so my brain says, "Okay, I'm not even going to try." That's what my brain did. That was the mindset. And so I started saying, I'm getting better at math. And the first time I said it, I felt something in my brain come alive a little bit. And basically, it was my brain saying, huh? I have work to do. I want you to remember this. Your brain is designed to work for you, and you have to give it commands. And if you give your brain a command, it will work for you. And so I started saying, I'm getting better at math. I'm getting better at math. I'm getting better at math. And before long, I actually started enjoying, not like I enjoy strategy and marketing and sales and stuff like that, but it started coming alive because my mindset changed. And I want that mindset to change for you. And so a coach, a person that can look at your life and your business, like, just look at it and not be involved in it in a way where there's emotions. They can help change your mindset around certain things and expand it and help you to develop new habits. And so another time as I was coaching somebody, I remember that accountability was really important. And it's really important in any business, having accountability. Who are you accountable to in your business? I mean, I know your clients keep you accountable to quality and all of this, and but when you set a goal in your business, who knows it? Who do you tell? And so accountability is huge. So it ensures that accountability by having a coach or a mentor, it'll keep you on track. And so I started before I had a coach, and I even do this today, and I still have a lot of these people as coaches and mentors on the wall. But I started, like, as I set a goal, I would tell people that I know I can trust and that I know will be around me, and ask them, hold me accountable to this goal. I want this, and this by this time. And so I obligate my goals to a few key people so that they can hold me accountable and keep me on track. And I'm going to tell you, that works. Nobody wants accountability, but they want what accountability gives them: results. So if you want results, you got to make yourself accountable. And a coach or a mentor can really help. Like, I remember sometime my coach would say, hey, did you do what I told you the last time? And I'd say, no, I didn't have time. He said, okay, call me when you do. Bye. And he'd hang up the phone. That's accountability. You don't deserve to go to the next level until you pass and conquer this level. Failure to implement. I can hear him. So, that's the power of having somebody in your life that it can coach you and mentor you and really help hold you accountable to getting where you want to go. Because I'm pretty sure that if I would ask you, are you where you want to be in your business? Very few of you could honestly say, yep, I'm exactly where I want to be. Very few. Okay. I'm not where I want to be. I don't know that I will ever be where I want to be in business. There's certain aspects of contentment there. And I'm not saying we should never be content or satisfied with enough, but like, we should always be looking to improve, to expand in our knowledge and understanding of certain things. And so make sure somebody will keep you accountable to that. One of the things that I had to really deal with moving from a traditional business owner, and by the way, I still own 5 companies, so I'm very entrepreneurial to this day, but moving into this world of impacting and influencing other people, I really had to overcome some self-imposed doubting beliefs, limitations that I believed about myself. It kind of goes back to the whole mindset thing. But a coach, I remember them telling me that you're worth more than 400 bucks an hour. As a business owner, I was told I'm worth more than 400 bucks an hour. And I remember thinking, no, I'm not. There's no way. There's no way. And so that was a self-imposed limiting belief that I had, that I have a low level of value. Okay. And I remember one day I walked into a sales call, and it was a big sales call. The opportunity was huge. And I get a phone call from one of my employees asking me to come do something that she forgot to do. And I was going to walk into this sales call, and the words, "you're worth 400 bucks an hour," came to my brain. And I said, no, you stop what you're doing and go get what you forgot, because I have something more important to do. I started believing that I was worth more than what I thought I was. And I remember thinking that if I'm worth 400 bucks an hour, I'm not going to stop what is more important than going and getting something that she forgot. In other words, my time is better spent doing this than to go do the other thing. And I remember I walked out of that sales call with what I call a good day, a $500,000 contract in my pocket. And I remember thinking, wow, maybe I am worth more than 400 bucks an hour, because the sales call was less than an hour, and I walked away with a $500,000 contract. Now, I'm not going to be the one that says I'm worth $500,000 in a half hour, but I'm just saying the principle is there, that it was a self-imposed limit that I had about myself, that, once that was challenged, it helped me to see and break through, and the idea of I need to be doing things that are worth more than what I can pay somebody to go do. Okay. I don't have a lot of time to build that out, but I think you get the idea that we sometimes feel like that we do things that we shouldn't be doing because we don't want to pay somebody else to do it, because we're not worth doing the good things. Anyway, so one of the things that a business coach really, really helped me to do is to expand my knowledge in how to run a business, how to manage employees, how to lead a company, not run a company. Running is exhausting. Leading is exhilarating. There's a big difference between running a company and leading a company. Running means you're frantically doing this, running here, running there. But leading a company is a place of rest. It's a place of confidence. It's a place of calmness. And that knowledge that a business owner or a business coach gave me, and the knowledge that those people on that wall gave me, helped me to understand that there's more to learn, so that I can apply that knowledge to what I'm doing. And it gives me more and more freedom as you go along. Another thing too that really helped me is from a standpoint of having a business coach. It made sure that I stayed on track. Now, as y'all know, there are so many things that can distract us. There's so many things, like even in business, there's so many things. It's so easy to be pulled slight to the left or right on let's start doing this. And it doesn't really take us towards our mission, our vision, and our purpose in our company. And for those of you that don't know what that is, schedule a free strategy call, and I can explain to you what a mission, vision, and purpose statement looks like in your business and why it's so important. It's basically the tracks. It's the track that your business is on, and it keeps you from getting off track. Mission, vision, and purpose. And so um, it the whole thing about that I want to you to take away from this talk is you got to have somebody that you can talk to. You got to have somebody that can look at your problems in your company or your challenges or your ideas objectively, that has no skin in the game, really. That somebody that can give you an honest evaluation of what you're doing and looking at what you're doing and say, you know what, change this, stop doing this, start doing this. And it just brings a greater awareness. And I've often said this: there are good coaches and there are bad coaches, but even the bad coaches are better than no coaches. I've often said that. The reason I say that, there are a lot of coaches out there that, passed a certification and they started a coaching company. They really don't have real life experience running a company, hiring employees, managing employees, payroll, all of this stuff. There's a lot of business coaches out there like that. There are good ones. And when I say good, I mean they have the experience to back it up. They know what they're talking about because they've done it. And then there are bad ones. And the bad ones are what I call the ones that bought their experience. They bought their certification. But even those, sorry, I can't talk today, those are better than no coaches. Show me a company that is successful, and I'll show you a company whose leaders have been seeking help from outside input. That's really, really important. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to, let's get my banners up here. I want you to take advantage of an offer that I'm offering. It's on the screen now. For those of you on the phone call, it's a free strategy call with me. And it's where we can start talking about what challenges you in your business. And I'll try to give you 2 or 3 pointers on what I would do. If you were my client, this is what I would tell you to do. So it's basically a free business coaching session. And because I really do want you to experience what I experienced in finding freedom so that I can spend more time with my family and friends. And so that number to call is 813-580-8920. I'll say it one more time, 813-580-8920. Or you can visit Dave Kauffman, 2F, spell my name right, Kauffman, speaks.com, davekaufmanspeaks.com, and you can schedule a call with me online. I'm going to close the talk with a quote from one of my mentors. He's on the wall, Dr. Delatoro McNeil. He says, opportunities never go away. They just go to other people. Opportunities, they never go away. They just go to other people. Get your opportunity. Latch onto it. Learn from other people. Reach out to other people. Ask advice. I just had lunch with a friend of mine today, and we were talking about humility, the idea of humility. And I said, well, I believe humility and curiosity are symbiotic. It's the same thing. Humility is the openness to learn. The opposite of humility is a know-it-all. Nobody likes to be around a know-it-all. And so I always want to be in a posture of learning and taking in so that I can give out. And I think that's really important. Humility, one of the signs of true humility is being curious and open to learning new ideas and opening that mindset. So opportunities never go away. They just go to other people. And so I want you to take this opportunity for a free strategy session by calling 813-580-8920. 8920. Go ahead and do it immediately after this call. Soraya is standing by ready to schedule it for you, and we'll spend about 30 to 45 minutes talking about your business and giving you some strategies. That's why we call it Strategy Call, on how to overcome one of your biggest challenges. So love to talk with you. And please, if you're on Facebook, please share this message out and help me get the word out. Thank you very much, and God bless you.